It began with a hum, a sound so faint, most people never even noticed it. To everyone else, it was just background noise, the kind the world makes when it pauses to take a breath. But to Ethan Cole, a 32-year-old acoustic engineer, it was alive. He felt it, like a pulse running just beneath reality itself. He was alone in the lab that night, running routine sound tests, when the waveform on his monitor trembled. It was a perfect sine wave, except for something else lurking just beneath it. "Impossible," he muttered, turning the dial on the amplifier. The tone deepened, low, rhythmic, almost like it was breathing. And then, in an instant, the world went silent. Ethan looked up from his console. His assistant, Mia, was gone. Her chair was still rocking slowly, and the coffee on her desk was still steaming. But there was no smoke, no flash of light, no scream. Just absence. "MIA," he yelled. Only the faint, eternal hum answered him, unbroken. Then a crackle of static erupted from the corner speaker. A distorted voice whispered, "You found it, Ethan, but can you unhear it?" For the next 48 hours straight, Ethan didn't sleep. He tried to reverse the sound, replaying the recording, filtering the frequencies again and again. But each time, the tone seemed to distort itself, to shift. It wasn't just reacting. It felt like it was defending itself. And then, things started disappearing. First, it was a plant in the corner of the lab. Then, a photo from his desk. Then, the faces in the remaining photos began to vanish. The world was deleting itself around him. He called the police, but they had no record of Mia working with him. Her name, her ID, her entire existence, erased from official records and everyone's memory but his. Desperate, he dove into old archives, encrypted sound studies, forgotten patents. And that's when he found it. Operation Shadow. It was a declassified note from 1987. It read, "Discovery of auditory cancellation beyond perception, classified under cognitive erasure protocol." His blood ran cold. The document was signed by someone he knew all too well, Dr. Raymond Hale, his old mentor. "Erasure, through sound," Ethan whispered to the empty room. The next morning, Ethan drove to the edge of the city, to an abandoned facility looming in the fog. Its windows were dark, its doors rusted shut. He broke the lock and stepped into a long corridor lined with soundproof foam. Ancient machines still hummed faintly, their lights flickering after decades of neglect. At the end of the hall stood a man, frail, trembling, his eyes full of a lifetime of regret. "I knew you'd come," Dr. Hale said, his voice raspy. "You knew about this?" Ethan demanded. Hale nodded slowly. "We made it." He looked away, unable to meet Ethan's eyes. "We thought it was a signal from somewhere, but it was subtraction. The universe isn't built on sound, it's built on silence. And we found its very edge." Ethan stepped closer, his fists clenched. "People are disappearing." Hale's voice cracked. "Once you hear it, it resonates with memory itself. You fade from others' minds first, then from your own." Ethan's breath quickened. "What happens if it spreads?" Hale's eyes darkened with terror. "It already has." As if on cue, the hum returned, soft, steady, vibrating up through the floor. That night, back in his apartment, Ethan turned on his radio, searching for anything, any news. All he found was static. Then, a calm, unaware voice came through the speakers. And now, for our listeners, a special tone scientists say can calm the mind. Take a deep breath and listen. Ethan froze. No. The lights in his apartment flickered. His reflection in the window seemed to glitch. The shadow frequency had gone public. Broadcast towers, radio stations, streaming platforms, every device was now carrying the hum. He scrambled to his computer, trying to delete the source file. Access denied. The monitor blinked back at him. And from his speakers, a whisper, "You can't delete what you've already heard." Within hours, the world began to empty. Cars rolled silently down streets with no drivers. Phones rang endlessly in vacant apartments. Online profiles turned into blank spaces. In a last-ditch effort, Ethan hit record on his own equipment. "If anyone finds this, My name is Ethan Cole. The shadow frequency is real. It's deleting people, one tone at a time. He looked outside. The city skyline was dimming, like pixels on a screen fading in reverse. His phone rang. Unknown number. He answered. Ethan. It was Mia's voice, a faint echo. It's cold here, and quiet. Don't try to fix it. Where are you? He whispered. Her voice was already fading. Somewhere, between echoes. Then, silence. Ethan returned to the lab, a desperate plan forming in his mind. If the frequency can erase, he said to the empty room, it can restore. He sealed himself inside the anechoic chamber, rewired the entire system, reversed the phase, bring them back. He hit play. A deep melodic hum filled the air. The walls shimmered. Shadows began to form around him, flickering outlines of people, slowly gaining substance. And then he saw her. Mia appeared, smiling faintly, reaching out her hand. He reached back, but just as their fingers were about to touch, the waves spiked. The chamber's glass shattered, lights burst, and everything went dark. When he woke, the world was pale, drained of all color. He whispered, still here. But when he looked for his reflection in a shard of broken glass, there was nothing. Every photo in the lab, every digital record of him, was now completely blank. The intercom buzzed, and his own recorded voice echoed through the lab. If you're hearing this, I failed. The sound travels forever, and now, so do I. The static swelled, then vanished. Days later, a maintenance worker entered the derelict lab. Dust hung thick in the air. On a console, he found a pair of headphones. Curious, he put them on and pressed play. A faint hum filled his ears. On the screen, the waveform pulsed, and a new line of text appeared. Next subject detected. The worker glanced at his reflection in the dark monitor. It blinked, and then disappeared. Somewhere between sound and silence, Ethan floated. He could see faint silhouettes all around him, the erased ones. They spoke without words, a silent communion of the forgotten. He looked at his own fading hands. So this is what silence sounds like, he thought. Mia's voice replied softly in his mind. No, Ethan. This is where silence begins. The view pulls back, revealing a massive, silent sound wave rippling through the void as the universe itself folds into static. A final whisper echoes through the darkness. End of transmission. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more mind-bending content. Let us know in the comments what you think the shadow frequency really is. Stay curious, and we'll see you in the next one.